Talon versus Bruv. It's gonna be... Look, I have high expectations for Bruv. I've always been a big fan of Mongolian Dota. I think so far, especially recently, been a bit more disappointed about how they've sort of carried themselves and the different sort of iterations of the team. You know, it used to be Lil Gun all the way, and then for a brief moment in time it was IHC, and then suddenly they all splinter into these neons, these different teams, and it just never looked the same. But I'm glad to see them mostly back again. Look, you've watched a lot more of this stack, and you've watched a lot more of Bob than I have in recent time. I'm gonna need your executive decision on this. Do you feel like this Earthshaker is something that he can pop off on and really carry the game? Because they are up against giants here in Talon.
It's something that he's done before. It's also a hero that he's really fallen flat with. It is mostly, and from what I've seen, it's been a hero that he gets dogged on in lane by. You know, lots of Ember Spirits from Bob, lots of Pucks as well. So, you know, you're going against those two heroes, pick Earthshaker. Lane gets easy. Bob is taking a page out of his Nemesis's book. Anyone who picks Earthshaker, right, is Bob's nemesis, so pick up the Earthshaker. You know what beats the puck best. You're confident. Of course, you're confident. You're Bob. Of course, you're confident. Yeah, I'm excited. I think Bob should do fine this lane. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. You do have a bit of kill potential on the puck, but same could be said either way if you're not disciplined in the lane.
Some early aggression on the open, forcing him to pop that Shadow Realm. Don't really expect any kill to come as a result of it. But the fact that 423 actually, you know, goes for that I guess reflection means that WS is not going to be pressured out in the early stages by a metamorphosis on the first or second wave. So he's going to get to his level 2 or level 3 pretty handily. And from there, I don't really see a world where you're killing the Timbersaw.
I think you're absolutely right. There is no world where you're killing Timbersaw, especially as a TB Bat Rider. This is one of those lanes where you have to play incredibly passive until TB decides to lead lane. And that's when you get aggressive because you're hitting jungle creeps. And that is pretty much going to be the peak of this lane down here.
Yeah, I was wondering whether they were going to bring the Pugna down to help this Timbersaw, rather deal with the Timbersaw problem and maybe start, you know, forcing him back with some blasts. But, you know, like I mentioned, going for the sort of more defensive option of having the Flame Break to break the Terrorblade free out of any trouble. Mikoto versus Bob in the mid lane. I'm expecting it to be Bob favored, right? He should be able to clear a lot of these creep waves in the Slugger, force Mikoto into awkward positions, and just constantly shove the wave into the tower. It's not something the puck can't deal with, but, you know, it really prevents the puck from moving around and being as fancy as you'd like to. But this is Mikoto we're talking about. I'm sure he'll find a way.
Yeah, I think this lane got a lot harder before Puckish was introduced. Being able to dodge, like walk under tower and dodge tower hits for HP is insane to me. Right, you can dodge range creep attacks as well. The world is your oyster. You just need, you know, a little bit of health back, a little bit of mana back. Look at that. That's insane.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep a close eye, and I'm assuming that it works. But I'm wondering whether the projectile of the dead creep body flying at Mikoto because of Slugger counts as a projectile. Because if it does, he is just basically farming these puckish stacks, right? Like every single time you're phase shifting, it's gonna be so much value. And puck, I think one of the scary things about the previous entire relationship with the Tidebringer of the Kunkka was that you'd be forced out by physical damage you can't dodge. Well, now even if you take the physical damage, anything else that you dodge is just healing you back up, and it's all fine and dandy. Like you said, the matchup got quite a bit easier.
Looks like he did get something back from that dodge.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good. It's really good even. Mikoto able to get the water rune as well. Bob is not very happy in this lane right now.
I mean, he's doing exactly what... Oh, WS dropping very low here. They cornered him, and that's first blood on the Timbersaw. I mean, we were talking about how there wasn't a world where the Timbersaw was gonna die, but I guess he just gets caught up in an awkward position trying to contest for the Lotus. maybe hitting there a bit too early and taking too many shots from the Metamorphosis. I kind of wish we had a replay because I would love to see how that happened, but he just seems to have been caught out in a rough spot.
I mean, to be fair to us, Sneeze, we did say like level 3, level 4 era is when you can't really kill the Timbersaw. He is only level 2 right now. So a lot of
He's
it
sounding
came
like
down
a
to really
courtroom defense
unfortunate
lawyer
timber
right now.
change.
Like,
yes. But
yeah, well, my
that
client
really
did
happens
say
from the timber chain.
not yet, not yet.
Yes, exactly. So you know what's up, Sneeze.
Of course. But at this point, you need to tighten up, right? I don't think that can happen any more than once in this lane. Especially now that meta is down, they should be free unless Yokum just goes down. I mean, if this happens, I gotta commend Say because he is doing an excellent job just pressuring them back, and there's the kill to Yokum. Okay? I mean, maybe we're underestimating the Bat Rider and how much he can do, but he is what feels like single-handedly turning this lane around for the side of Bruv.
I'll be honest with you, I did, and I am still underestimating the Bat Rider. But, you know, I'll eat my words. I'm ready to eat my words. It's top lane.
Akashi find the lifesteal, managing to get the kill onto Tsukimoto before going down. The TP in from Yokum. Trying to punish Seimei now. Bosku, oh, that deluge on the Nether Ward actually ends up biting him. And now WS left all alone. Even with no meta, he's just being run down. Timberchain's not going to save him. They just have him surrounded. And take a look at all that EXP on the creep wave that he's missing. This Timbersaw is hurting, and you got to keep in mind, this is one of his best heroes to show up like this. It's a bit sour.
It is, but there's a whole game of recovery, but you kind of have to get there. Right now, everyone on Talon all these side lanes on Talon are kind of suffering. Broodmother 15-5, Timbersaw 14-0. You need a little bit more CS if you want to step up.
4-2-3, putting on his dancing shoes a little bit, dodging away from WS, and it's quite a bit of time wasted. Sure, I mean, they might eventually get this kill on the Terrorblade, but certainly taking this Timber a while. Still got to give up on the chase, though. Oh, if 4-2-3 can somehow get that denied, this is going to be crazy. No, WS won't let it happen. That was almost a disaster. Bit of a gang from Bosco in the mid lane, but Bob just a bit too tanky at this stage. Even turns around, slugs another creep back at Mikoto. Just get off of my lawn.
So dumb. So dumb that a hero can just walk under tower and be like, ah, okay, bye-bye. I don't care.
Oh, Bosco is gonna eat an Echo Slam and die. Mikoto trying to get a return kill. But Bob still has a Fairy Fire infused raindrops. He's gonna be completely fine. And guess what? A regen rune. Surely not the Brambles will catch him the first time. Jokum needs to finish off that kill. Tries to get it with the auto attacks to save a bit of mana. Gonna be able to conserve that regen rune. It would have been disastrous if Bob was able to pick that one up.
That would have been a lane secured if the regen rune was able to be picked up, but you did use Echo Slam on a kill that didn't result in it being the mid laner. Right, when you think of like Earthshaker matchups, you think, I am going to get Echo, I am going to kill my mid lane matchup immediately under the next creep wave. Which didn't happen. And now Mikoto, he's going to be safe for a gank for a little bit while longer. He does have that coil up, and I would assume wants to use it. Regen rune isn't the best ganking rune, so there is a world you wait. But you're losing a tier 1 tower, you're losing map space. Your Broodmother is level 4. You're going to need to get things done somewhere.
Yeah, nice Twin Gate rotation from the Terrorblade, just using that Metamorphosis. Maybe understanding that since he's being left alone in that lane without any much of backup, he's going to be a lot safer at just being where his Doom and the rest of his allies are. So getting that objective, putting Akashi back a little bit. Wisdom runes 1-for-1 at the 7-minute mark, so nothing crazy in terms of thievery going on. And overall, net worth-wise, no surprises that Doom is doing so well for himself. He hasn't really suffered much in lane, able to sort of out-farm the Broodmother just off the tower. Gonna make another try for Bob in the mid lane. Nice dodge out on the Fissure. Looks like they were able to get a kill onto Bosco on the other side of the map, but Bob, again, just a bit too tanky for them at the current moment.
And unfortunately, that's coil used, right? Once again, a mid lane ultimate used that you want to get that counter kill on your counterpart. Doesn't happen, and it hurts both of them quite a bit.
Haste rune secured again from Mikoto.
He can still make things happen with this haste rune, but all these ganks are so hard. Doom, TB aren't really cores you really want to gank, so it should just be Farmville for Talon.
Yeah, I think the concern for me is, Bob still sticking around on 200 HP. That was certainly overzealous, and Mikoto, yeah, I mean, you're not going to get it the first time around, but if the Earthshaker's going to present himself on a juicy platter like that, you'll say thank you very much.
Yeah, that's more of, I feel like, Bob's fault than Mikoto's well-doing. Not really sure what the plan was there. Bob just kind of eats 2 spells and dies. I mean, look, timing-wise, Sneeze, things are going, I think, to par with Bruv. This is exactly what they wanted. Doom's on top, followed by the Terrorblade, who's getting close to a Yasha already. I mean, as long as Timbersaws down here, TB can't get lane creeps, which is what, I mean, you've got that going for you. TB is jungling jungle creeps while your Broodmother is hitting lane creeps. But Brood is still so far behind that I really don't think you care.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I'm honestly surprised how far behind the Brood is. I thought it would be fine in the lane, and sure enough, like, it's not like it was greatly successful or anything, but it's still, you know, Akashi, he's being slowed down a lot more than I expected, but now with the spawn finally looking like level 6, should be able to ramp up the farm a little bit more. Bosco on the flip side using his mirror image just to steal away some jungle camps, being as pesky and annoying as possible. The awkward thing for Talon now is that they don't really have any moves that don't involve the puck, right? So as long as Bruv keep their eyes on Mikoto, they should be able to dodge out any aggressive attempts from their opponents. Oh, here comes Bob.
Nice split of the Spiderlings there. And that's one thing that you're always going to be able to have to keep an eye out for. If you're Akashi on this Brood, is the rotations coming in from Bob. Alright, very scary to be caught off guard by that.
Oh, Blink Dagger reveal, but way too quick. Mikoto gets the phase shift off and a huge terrorize. Yokum's gonna sacrifice his life for it. Do they have the Stomp? Oh, he didn't toggle!
He got hit by the Cursed Crown just barely. Oh, Sugimoto didn't move far enough. Oh,
wow,
man.
that was... No, because I don't know whether I saw that properly, but I think... okay, might have to hold that thought. Looks like there's aggression brewing. He has invaded the triangle. There might not be one that he can survive. Suddenly 4 members of Bruv materialize out of nowhere, trying to contest for these stacks. The Twisted Chakram doing quite a bit of damage. Sunder is available. He might be able to turn things around, but he also has Tsukimoto just healing up the Terrorblade. 4-2-3. Checking out his options here. They need to try and clear out this stack as soon as possible. They should be able to do so, but that looks scary for a moment. I mean, it felt like those were 2 instances that should have worked out very well in Bruv's favor, but just quick reactions from Mikoto and the Dark Willow on Yokum just gets him out of trouble.
Good news, you're taking the off-lane tier 1 tower. Yippee! The triangle's gonna open up for you. That, though...
I can't even tell whether you're being sarcastic or not.
I'm being a little sarcastic. Just a bit, though, because, like, there are benefits to it as well, right? Like, you have control of Wisdom Rune, technically. There's still that tier 2 to teleport to, so it's not... Like, it's not overall control, but it's something. You know, I'm trying to look on the bright side here for Talon, because they kind of... I don't even think they need it after plays like that. They're rolling in it. They're pretty happy. I don't need to cope for them.
Yeah, I mean, there's no coping to be had, right? As far as I'm concerned, that's a huge win for them. You got to consider that entire chain of events started with what was supposed to be the Doom revealing his blink. And it just ends up with him dying instead. So, definitely a far cry from what you're hoping to achieve in that moment. And it's going to make you think twice, because Talon, they were so ready to respond with the full force. Sure, you brought 4 heroes that materialized seemingly out of nowhere, but Talon quick to respond and now save. We'll get up to the high ground. Because Crown's going to hold him in place though, but I don't think Mikoto can afford to commit them.
not into a lasso, right? That is a big death wish. Obviously didn't know the TB was there, but if you get caught by that TB, you are good and dead.
There's some brute mother gameplay going on here, regardless of whether it's in the off lane or the mid or the safe. It's like, okay, whichever lane you're in, I'll take the tower. I will run at you. And, you know, despite the early pitfalls that the hero sort of was dealing with, at least Akashi having to retreat back into the jungle, he is slowly starting to catch his way back up.
Alright, an item that's going to help Bob catch up here, hopefully, is his Blink Dagger. Smoke out as well. They have an Echo Slam ready. They have Lasso. They have every single ultimate. All those green diamonds are lit up at the top of our screen. For both teams. They're both ready to go. If you can get a TP rotation in, I'm sure Talon would want to fight this.
Hold on, Akashi with that reflection. They know he's in this area. It's going to be a good setup. Bob just needs to find the connection. Waiting for the smoke to break. Safe. Watching the tree line. Oh my god!
There was once a broodmother there, and I wouldn't even say it's a corpse now. It's like a splat mostly.
Dude, what? Bob, you know, I know in the Philippines, I've been there. There's a lot of flying insects around. They're really good at using those fly swatters, but I didn't know Bob had that thing on him. That was crazy. Just disappeared. Doom in the bot lane though onto WS. Yokum there with the backup. Should be an easy walk away from the Timbersaw. Meanwhile, Bosku falling to Bob, who's made a rotation to the mid lane in all the time while we were sort of still shell-shocked from his huge Echo Slam in the top lane. Lasso. Try and prevent a further chase from Mikoto. 4-2-3 is here as well, but Mikoto's still trying to commit. That's gonna be a mistake! Not respecting the chain CC. I know that's crazy to say about the team on the Radiant side, but he still managed to catch the puck off guard. And Bob, the feast of the famine, he's starting to eat, man.
He is indeed. I mean, laning stage looked good. The first Echo, you know, didn't look good. But hey, that second Echo, that was great. And now Bob, yeah, like you said, he was hungry and he's being fed right now.
WS, post early game suffering, still suffering, trying to chase down Bob, who's just been such a big target. And it feels like Talon, they're salivating at the mouth, trying to shut him down, but it's just not worked out because, bruv, they're playing very nicely around it. That's the first song of the Siren of the game. Holding the Doom and the Pugna in place. Mikoto's here to try and punish as well. Been fine for now. Akashi has come down all the way from the top lane to take part in this fight, and for his trouble, he'll get 2 kills. So even though WS does go down, which is kind of painful from the Timbersaw, all things considered, it's not like he's lacking so far in terms of net worth, and Akashi getting involved this early on with his freshly picked up Echo Saber, that's important.
Look, Sneeze, I'll be that guy. Could you imagine if Seimei didn't waste Doom bottom on WS when he was alone, and instead waited for that engagement to use Doom?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he also didn't know that Yokum was just waiting around, right? So,
but even if he was, do you really kill that Timbersaw from full with Doom level 1 Doom?
I don't know. I mean, is it? I'm not a Doom player, but I imagine it's something to do with like some mental damage, right? You've already bullied this guy for a large part of the game, and then you just zoom in for fun, and he's like, all right, cool, real nice, bro, real nice. Yeah, but I get what you're saying.
Pipe of Insight has been purchased. Let's see if Doom wants to start rolling with the team now. Doom is up again. Blink Dagger purchased, of course. Let's get schmoovin', boys.
Oh, looks like Akashi, he's been found again in the top lane. It's just instant, dude. Like,
place to raise a family next time.
Yo, guess what happened to him?
I don't know, Sneeze, tell me.
The same exact thing that I think Bob picked this Earthshaker for. Like, it was, did you see his health bar just disappear? Like, it was one shot, actually. Like, it was one shot and then one follow-up, like Enchant Totem, and he was just gone. Akashi is really not having a good sort of showing. And it's scary to say that about Talon, right? Because I feel like their shining stars are WS and Akashi for the longest time, even back when they were playing with Chuan. Ooh, 1-2-3. Ends up losing his shard that he purchased for himself so early on. Bosco will pay the price for it. That's a very early shard pickup. Just the Demon Zeal. That's an interesting early grab.
Farmed up your speeds up your farming time. Just, you know, it's a value purchase for sure.
Right. I mean, I was just thinking maybe he'd sort of focus towards his next item because it seems like, you know, Bruv just want to get things going as soon as possible. Right? Like, and they're already beating on this tier 2 tower. Talon are trying to set up though, looking for a coil. Jim on the sidelines just waiting for a target. Akashi shows himself on the tree line. I think the walls is a little bit scary though. Song's still not available. They do have that terrorize. Can't really run in here. This is feeling a little bit awkward for the side of Talon.
Let's take and start by getting this Doom. That would be a great one.
Let's start by getting the Broodmother. Again, a beautiful terrorize, but that's not going to be enough. Akashi goes down, and the Song comes out too late. Like we said, it was still on cooldown, and that was the earliest possible time Bosku could have popped it. Now Bob, the carry out of the picture. He wants to hunt for more. Can't find anyone though. They just dodged him perfectly. Might try and turn around now that he's so deep, and oh, Bob, not respecting the damage and control that can come out. He's going to pay the price. So that is a killing spree into the hands of WS, and the rest of the team just dissipates.
He does secure that tier 2 tower, which is good news, but you gotta ask the question, what the hell were you thinking there, Bob? What was the game plan, other than secure the tier 2 tower?
It's not gonna stop. You just remove the Earthshaker from the map. Suddenly there's so much pressure and control, like we mentioned in the draft, that's just removed from the Bruv roster. WS able to grab another. And they aren't even able to find Bosku.
No, because you saw firsthand there how dumb of an ability Deluge is. Nice TP away. Is he still up? It's 19 minutes. They're investing. They're saving for the 21-minute one. I think that's got to be the only reason, right? No one is playing in that area except for Akashi. Uh-oh.
Okay.
That was an Echo Slam.
That was an Echo Slam and that was Dream Claw. I mean, nicely dodged by Mikoto, I guess, and turn around Dream Claw to stop any further chase. You gotta respect the try, right? But Mikoto, he's just been really good about dodging all of these so far.
Yeah, I mean, you miss every opportunity you don't take these games, right? Like, even if it does cost you that Echo, getting a kill on Puck there would be huge, right? Second net worth on the enemy team.
I think that's the only hero so far on Talon that they haven't really been able to shut down entirely, right? Mikoto's done very well. I think the only time he got caught was right in the triangle when he was getting overzealous for the Bob kill. But apart from that, he's been playing pretty cleanly, I must say. But now it's Talon's time to aggress. They're the ones smoked up in the opponent triangle, challenging their opponents to come at them.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Both teams are posturing high ground, hunting and waiting. The discipline, the respect is there this time around.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is falling.
Going closer now. Say. Able to blink in, grab that Timbersaw, instant doom, no save. He's just gonna go down. Nice vision set up, defending their triangle and kicking out the intruders. WS down again.
And looks like Wisdom Runes, Akashi will get 2. Makoto will get 1, so a whole load of XP. By the way, a Talon, Bob from downtown, jumps in, Chant Totem.
Academics complete means that the chase can go on forever, and it's a nice little set of kills. I mean, again, this game feels like it's just sort of swung back and forth in very minor sort of increments, right? And in some moments, Talons are the ones grabbing momentum, just killing Bob, who's overextended. On the other, it's just Bob running around, setting up initiation after initiation. This is... Mikoto, this is crazy stuff. I mean, I think he believes he can play his way out of this one, and I'm inclined to trust him on this. But they are converging in on Bruv with like 5 heroes. This is about as much danger as you're ever going to be in.
I feel like, and you know, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, I feel like I have not seen an impactful coil this game. Not to say that Puck themselves haven't been impactful, right? The spell usage has been good, the silences has been annoying, but the coils I feel like they've had very minimal impact.
Yeah, it's kind of odd because when you look at the heroes that Talon have drafted, in your mind you're thinking, okay, this Naga Song and the Timber AoE damage, it's gonna combo out really nicely with the control of the Dark Willow and the Coil, but hasn't really panned out that way because of how scattered they've taken these fights and just approached the game so far. But now they're gonna head straight into the Roshan pit, and it seems like Bruv either were not aware or just couldn't really be bothered. Yeah, a quick look at the graph shows just how much it swung, even in these very small amounts. Back and forth we go, and even with that Roche grab, it's not even like Talon are gold ahead or anything. It's still 1k advantage for Bruv, so a very even game for sure.
The only difference is if you take away that 1k, right, it's just from the TB. All the other cores on the side of Talon, right, like, they are suffering. Or, sorry, not Talon, Bruv, they are suffering. Right, the Doom, the Earthshaker aren't really doing too hot. It's not the end of the world, but, you know, eventually it might make a difference of one item, which can amount to a one-team fight for Talon.
Dire are scanning.
Still feels like in the sort of face-to-face matchup, it might be Bob who just reigns supreme. He just feels so strong right now. Can completely eviscerate Akashi with one good Echo Slammer. And honestly, any of the cores on Talon feel like they are going to be easy prey. We'll see how it goes though. Aegis on the Brood Mother. And just allow Akashi to play up a bit further. Bait and initiation. And let Talon respond. They're just looking
no
for
spiderlings for Akashi.
Lasso so far. Yeah.
They learned.
Yeah, no more. Send the babies to like daycare, you know? You don't want them with your mama. Everyone's just gonna die.
Yeah, exactly. Just get vision with the spiderlings instead.
Coil again, it's a pretty good initial setup, but again, with the Doom onto Timber, there's not a lot of follow-up damage that's going to come through. Now, Kashi's the only one on the front line for now, and he has the Aegis, so they don't want to target him. A nice vision to split up the fight, but now it's Tsukimoto just standing there and draining away. They can finish off Seimei, who's already used his Doom, so it's not that big of a deal. The Bat Rider goes down as well, and now the Song holding that Terrorblade in place. This is scary now. As 4-2-3, nowhere to run, still has the Sunder and the Pike. Can try for some cute plays down to the low ground. Oh, pushes away the illusion, but gets chased down. WS Doom finally runs out, and Talon take their first convincing fight of the game. The coil wasn't impactful up until this point, but Mikoto finds it for the team and holds down Bob.
Yeah, and that's all it needed to do, right? No crazy amount of damage from, you know, what Puck does, but there was no crazy amount of damage into the coil. Right, and all it was is a nice, simple, you're not going anywhere sort of coil. And that's all that they really needed. Lock down Bob, make sure that Echo doesn't get off. You know, he's not running around with his enchant, or flying around with his enchant totem.
Ooh, they tried to get that lasso. I mean, again, still 2 minutes on that Aegis, but at that point they would have dragged him very far out of position. His team wouldn't have been able to help him, Akashi.
He's still got to be careful here. He does have a lot of spiderlings around him.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I just am in constant fear for this Brood Mother because I feel like, yeah, I'm so scared. I can hear the fear in your voice as well. But WS, he's gonna lead the charge. Running into the Twisted Chakram, holding down Tsukimoto. This is still Bob territory. He can just wait for his opening. 2 heroes standing there and hitting the wall right now. But this is not a fight they want to take, especially not into the Aegis. Again, it's still been there. They haven't been able to kill the Brood Mother.
The tier 2 towers are not worth your life. Right? It's the first Aegis timing. This is exactly what Talon want to be doing. It's exactly what Talon are going to be doing. You just have to weather the storm right now, not bleed too many kills. You cannot make this Aegis turn into a high ground Aegis. That's when things start getting problematic.
Yeah, the gold lead has properly advanced to an actual advantage for the first time this game. It feels like Talon very much in the driver's seat, despite the slight lapse in kills in terms of the numbers. 16 to 13 doesn't really tell the full story. Talon definitely the ones in control. That's if Akashi can keep this up, right? He has sort of scaled up to become quite tanky now at this point, especially the insatiable hunger, able to lifesteal up a lot of the damage he might be taking. Oh, again, just plays the low ground, jumps away from the stuns. He'll be fine.
Man, you really wanted that smoke. You really needed that smoke to work on Bruv, right? Aegis was just expiring. If you could have waited maybe another 20 seconds before starting that engagement, maybe things go differently, and maybe you can catch Akashi with their pants down a bit.
Yeah, it feels like there's so much that has to go right now for Bruv, though, that Talon. They've been in these positions before. Honestly, a much shakier earlier game, but maybe you can just chalk it down. You know, we've all been there. We play our first pub game of the day. It's not looking as tight. And, you know, you play with the same guys like for what, years now, but sometimes it just takes a bit of warm up. And Talon, it seems like they're all warmed up now. They know exactly what they need to do, how to maneuver the fight. Like you mentioned, none of these individual moves need to be anything crazy, but the team play is coming through and they're really supporting each other in a way that Bruv just really isn't right now.
Yeah, and specifically Akashi has learned his lessons about his damn spiderlings. And as long as Bob is showing, you're safe, but when he isn't, you gotta get rid of those spiderlings. Take them to kindergarten, preschool, wherever the hell it is. Just get them away from you, please. Hire a babysitter. Get them out of here.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Gem purchase from the Naga Siren going to continue to close out the map and increase the net worth lead as well, right? Killing off 4 wards is a big chunk of change for your support.
Oh, they found Bob sneaking around again. That's not a good look. He's going to go down. Very, very easy pick up there. And
sneaking around
like
is a good way of putting it.
Yeah, no, the thing is, I don't think, and this might be me just trying to be nice here, I honestly don't think that was Bob's fault, because at this point in the game, you're either cooped up at your tier 3s, or someone has to go out on the map and try and, you know, get whatever farm they can, right? It can't just be you sitting there and sapping up everything. So it's just unfortunate. I think they either had vision or maybe a courier pass that gave them info that Bob was in the area. But yeah, there was a period of time where Bob was really controlling the tempo of the game on this mid Earthshaker, and now it's just kind of fallen flat, like you mentioned, like you prophesized, Crash.
You know, I've been playing a lot of Oracle recently, Sneeze, and I think it's rubbed off on me.
Okay. Are you at the level where you can predict where the next rune is going to be at yet, or?
I was, you know, it's fun. It's funny you mentioned that. I had recently tested it with a friend of mine, and I was 6 and 6 at one point. 6 for 6 at one point. So I did lose the 7th, but you know, hey, that's a lot of 50-50s to win.
Yeah. I'm sure someone who's actually good at math in the chat can run the numbers for us as to how successful that actually is, but unfortunately, despite being Asian, I can't really do that for you, so. I mean, that's probably how Bob was feeling at one point as well, right? He was doing all the numbers right, he was crunching them up, and I mean, now it's the pride before the fall, right? You guess a few too many times, you try and get fancy with it, and now your Earthshaker, who had a pretty decent time on the Aghanims, can't really get much done on the map, and it's just weird. You know, they somehow managed to circumvent it with good map movement, but you look back at the draft that Bruv have, what is the play? Like, how, you know, again, the Doom, the Batrider, they did well in their lanes in the early game, and now it's just reached the point where WSS BKB, and, you know, there's so many tools that they can use against the Doom, against the Lasso. 423 is just not at a level of damage that he can stand there and just deliver and win the fight like 1v5. And it's gonna be a long time before he can do that. I mean, he has Crystallis and he's working on a Satanic, sure, but these all feel like necessities in terms of what's really gonna get you the distance.
The BKBs have come out for Bruv. Both TV and Earthshaker have finished off their BKBs, but that's just in time for a Lincoln Sphere on Puck. All of a sudden, killing this Puck has become a lot more difficult.
Yeah, I think what's telling about the draft on Bruv is that even though we knew they were going to draft generally a bit more unorthodox, picking some of these heroes that don't really see the light of day like Pugna and Terrorblade, I mean, there's a reason why the entire meta so far has been centered around the same, you know, 10, 15 heroes. It's because it's just really, really strong. Timbersaw being one of them, Puck being one of them, the Naga as well. Brute Mother usually run in the off lane, but Akashi's making it look pretty solid.
Yeah, after those few like initial missteps with the spiderlings, and you know, not doing too well in lane, Akashi has recovered beautifully.
I'm fully expecting Bruv just wait. They're trying, but the spiderlings just scalping them, right? It's so annoying. At any point in time, if the spiderlings don't see shit, then you know something's afoot. Lasso. Oh, they found the Dark Willow. That's a catch. You know, you stop the TP. Looks like Talon want to save their support though. They'll come in an awkward position. 4-2-3 running forward, popping the BKB just to commit onto the Willow. But now Talon, they can just disengage if they want, right? That's the BKB used that you were talking about. Is going to be one of the key items to maybe give Bruv a fighting chance. That's down the drain for a pause 4.
I don't think you want to fight anymore. You're going to have about a 40-second window on Talon where BKB is still down on TV and your Willow's up and you can fight. Blink Dagger on Bosku. So able to, you know, stay out as far as physically possible and then jump in for a Song of the Siren. You're able to disengage with your song as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Solar Crest was already purchased by the Dark Widow, so you're not on that duty. Maybe you could have gotten the drums, but yeah, I like this pickup a lot. Allows them a lot of flexibility in terms of their options in fight. Here comes Mikoto, spots out 3 of them, forcing the BKB from Bob. WS gonna pop his own, eat a Doom. Where's the save? The Song? Gonna try and help him out, but the Timbersaw still gonna go down because Bob has his own BKB pop. Seimei able to chase through. So this whole Blink Song that we were praising so much on Talon, not really working out. Mikoto still able to find Sei on the backlines though. But what else can him and Kashi do? They look onto Bob. Echo Slam onto a solo Broodmother. Just pops the BKB, turns around and munches onto Bob. But nice little Decrepify. Tsukimoto saving his mid laner. Akashi, can he finish the job? Finally gets the kill. But the whole time, 4-2-3 is beating onto the Broodmother. And it's Mikoto against the world now. Yokam's joined back up with the squad. Tsukimoto trying to play his way out of this one with the D-Craps. Mikoto looking for an angle back in, but he can't walk past the tanky front line of the Doom as well as the Terrorblade. Just has to watch himself. Realistically speaking, he's not going to be under any threat of dying with that Lincoln Sphere especially. But he just needs to find an opening to rejoin the fight without just being auto-attacked down relentlessly. Overall, not the worst thing in the world for Bruv, as Tsukimoto ends up taking out to that Parasma lingering damage. Mikoto just styling on them at this point. No control for the park means that it's just his kingdom.
So dumb. Get this hero out of my games, please. Although, at the same time, watching good pucks perform, in my opinion, there's nothing better. But also, at the same time, kind of frustrating to watch a hero, you know, get away with shenanigans like that. It feels illegal.
Yeah, I mean, that's the difference, right? Because I think in some other metas where, okay, I mean, I think Sei is dead here. Unfortunately, trying to go on a dewarding mission, just get burned to a crisp. Usually it's the Bat Rider doing the burning. So a bit of a switch of gears. Not really liking that very much. Oh, Mikoto to the coil. Can they really threaten this terribly? There's a nice Hurricane Pike Terrorize. Bobby's just pump faking that vision the entire time. Ends up hitting no one, but I guess it sends a message.
I guess so. Once again, a weird use of your abilities. The coil was fine because you do have potential of a kill there. But, you know, I think the weird one for me was Terrorize. But you got it up, what, 40-second cooldown on Terrorize or something like that? 50, 60 seconds? I can't remember. It's fine. It's pretty low. You know, it'd be really weird if they used Song of the Siren. That'd be the one that really get me scratching my head. Another Roche.
Talon hits straight from that Roche here. A little bit of a roar of pain. But Bruv, yeah, no position to contest that at all. 5 sentries on Cuckoo. 5 sentries. He really wants to deward the shit out of them.
And he's lost his gem.
Huh?
Yeah, Makoto's holding on to it now. But you still have it on your team. But Cuckoo's not the one holding it, unfortunately. He's going to have to do all that dirty work himself.
Yeah, all the Cuckoo haters, look at this, man. He takes matters into his own hands. How can you dislike this guy?
I didn't know there were Cuckoo haters. That's news to me.
Wait, what do you mean? Cuckoo has so many haters.
No, not in my NA bubble. We all love Cuckoo here.
North America
every single
fans
two
of
of us.
Cuckoo United.
Yes, yes.
Your fortnightly Cuckoo fan club meetings in Ottawa, Ontario, right? That's crazy.
Okay, wow, okay, yep. Yeah, the capital of Canada, that's what it is. That's where we all meet up. We all meet in front of Parliament
Wherever
building,
you are.
yeah.
Yeah.
We actually just meet in my
he's,
basement and like...
Oh, right. Okay, well, this game has kind of devolved into a state of what we were seeing a lot at TI and in some of the sort of tournaments leading up to these qualifiers, where a team just has a pretty significant advantage and it's kind of hard, other than some sort of miraculous high ground hold, for their opponents to come back. Now, it might be a bit easier if they had heroes that were capable of putting up a good fight, but as we saw with the Lincoln Sphere and the limited usefulness of the Doom and the Bat Rider at this stage of the game, I'm struggling to see a way they come back unless Talon decide to hold hands and eat an Echo Slam together for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
You know, it's funny you mentioned 3 separate meals there, because I think that's exactly what it's going to take, is 3 separate fights to really get them into a good position. The first 2 will catch them up on the net worth. Oh, Bob. BKB, TP away, never feels good.
Yeah. I believe they call that the Nightfall Special.
Yeah.
Or should I say Saika? But I mean, he's retired now. I got a moment of silence. Love that guy.
All the Nightfall haters rise up. All the NA Nightfall haters.
Actually, the NA Nightfall haters is exactly the same meeting. It's like
yeah.
The second thing on the
place,
agenda meeting of the Cuckoo. Yeah. Okay, so let's jokes aside here. They're just waiting clearly for Talon to go up onto the high ground, right? But okay, well, not waiting anymore. Just grabbing the Dark Willow, fully focusing them down, and Yokum is gonna take a tumble. Really nicely executed from the side of Bruv, but what else can they find? I will destroy you around the Seimei, looking for an opening to blink in and get a Doom off. So far, basically all of his Dooms have been on the Timbersaw and Timbersaw alone. So you can imagine that that's probably the target that he's still looking for.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you can get it on the puck, you'll take it. It's just going to be incredibly hard, right? Already, like Lincoln Sphere, like we've talked about, and being a slippery little puck as well.
It's so crazy when Akashi actually gets his hands on like Sei or like any of the supports without Decrepify, because they die so fast. That was...
Yeah.
He just kind of got eviscerated, and I mean, they might just wait actually for Yokum to come back up in like 3 seconds. But hustling up here on the top side, Bob is trying to find an opening. Oh, he might just be closing his casket. Able to jump away there. The agony is a bit too strong in terms of the mobility it provides. Yeah, okay, but yeah, I mean, Akashi sees every single hero on the Radiant side just messing around the top lane, and he knows that he's completely fine to mess around up here. Now, he does have the Aegis, so it's gonna buy his team a lot of time to rejoin him and help him out. There they come. Seimei looking for a Doom, pops the BKB, maybe trying to focus down the Brood Mother this time. There's a song running, but the BKBs are gonna allow them to finish off Akashi. The question is whether they can find anything else. As their BKBs are running out now, WS is gonna start doing a lot of damage. Twisted Chakram out, he's on the front lines, he just can't kill this Timbersaw. Nice Thunder though, gonna get him low. That could be the opportunity they're looking for. Bob there to stun him up, but with the pipe and the resistances, they just can't finish him off. Slicing forward now, Doom gonna buy back, but without his ultimate, what can he do? Bob gonna get sliced down as well. He has a buyback. And the partner coming up in 1 second. Without Akashi, they might take a little bit of a chill pill. Doesn't seem like it. Mikoto still wants to keep it going. The true carry of this Talon lineup. Doesn't want to miss a beat. Stuck in the tree line for now, though. WS now in a precarious position. Has the Lotus Sword protecting him. Bosku, no more songs, no more defensive maneuvers. The Greaves, a last bit of healing for him. They still aren't able to finish anyone off other than Yokum. WS gonna turn around, try and finish off the Doom. Dropping low, nice Glimmer Cape. And Doom will be able to escape. Makoto's the one left behind, but he should be able to play his way out of this one. The orbs, the jaunts, and the rifts, they're way too much, and he's even gonna mess around with them. Still has the Trickster scope available to him, knows that there's no detection in this area, and sure enough, he'll pop it. I'm not really sure what Talon are still doing here. This 3v5 doesn't seem like one they can win. They might even lose Bosco as a result, still suffering from the lack of vision. And now WS focused up. Mikoto desperately still trying to clean up, but he's losing his teammates now. Sure, he can play his way out of just about anything they can throw at him, but he's running out of allies. He's running out of resources. And he eats a Doom now. Lincoln's off cooldown. They're gonna drop a sentry, and they're finally gonna kill the pup. Bruv, somehow, some way, they turned this entire hold around. Talon, despite losing Akashi, despite losing WS and Dark Willow, they decide to stick around for what feels like way longer than necessary. And now they've just kind of let go of the momentum that they've held on to.
But all the while, mid-racks were taken by the creeps. Maybe that's what Talon were hoping for there, was just some sort of hold or push rather of the creeps, right? Making sure that Bruv can't hold the line. It's the only thing I can think of. That's the only reason I see for a Talon to even remotely stick around there.
Yeah, that was, I'm not gonna lie, a little bit weird. A little bit weird. I just feel like Mikoto had no reason to do that. And now 423, he's king of the net worth. He has just about like every item you could ask for. Maybe missing like a swift blink or something like that. Looks like they found Bosco in the bot lane. Control up. Vision's there. Song can't come out before the lasso comes out. They leash that fish up and sentence him to death. 70 seconds without your support. Talon letting things slip at the last juncture here. Not really what we've come to expect from this team based on their international performances up until this point, but a lapse in discipline. Highlight that is going to slap them on the wrist for this one for sure, whether they win or they lose, but this has given, it feels like, Bruv, a lot more leeway than they deserve.
Certainly feels that way, doesn't it? Right? We were just at a position there where Talon were pushing high ground with Aegis. Things were looking really good. We were talking about how hard it is for teams to come back from situations like that. Well, when Talon just feeds you kills one after another, the game gets incredibly easy. When teams don't play as 5 heroes, believe it or not, that's a winning formula.
Yeah, now the gem loss as well. They keep getting kill after kill. They got the lasso on Akashi. What is going on? Talon are falling apart. This is the team that just beat the Kukuis into a huge sort of 5-game grand final, qualified to Bet Boom Dacha, and here they are a couple of days later. I mean, it's still early on in this qualifier. Sure, they have a lot more chances, and they still have the rest of this series, but they're fumbling the bag a little bit. Feels like they should have won at this point. Gonna try and put on a fight. Moscow, though, taking a lot of hits. The 4-2-3 can't find any target. Don't get controlled now. Buyback onto Akashi. They want to win this fight. In comes Mikoto. Twisted Chakram forward. They can't find the Doom just yet. He's actually blocked off by his own Earthshaker. He's trying to find a target, but Akashi dueling up with this poor Terrorblade, and he's gonna get muscled down. No one else on the side of Bruv could help him. Bob and Stalemate, they were just watching on the sidelines. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I think that fissure ended up really messing up the Doom a bit, because he did end up blinking in and stomping, but they just didn't have anything that could cut through the BKBs, and Terrorblade, he had no help.
He's got no help and no buyback either. Still 2,000 gold away from it. 70 seconds for Broodmother to wreak havoc on your base.
Yeah, this game has been a bit sloppy, I'll say, from Talon compared to what we probably expected coming into this matchup. But still, looks like they'll be able to get the job done, or at least really come close to it this time round. I think the memories of them overstaying will be fresh in their mind, and they're gonna try and play a bit more conservatively. Akashi especially, you can see he's staying back because he used that buyback. If he dies back, that will really present a real comeback opportunity for the side of Bruv. Fully relying on the Timber Saw to be the ones to destroy the building.
Roshan is up, and Akashi's going to take that upon himself to go claim that Aegis, as well as the other goodies from the third Roche. Okay, Refresher Orb complete onto Bob. Could be a big turnaround potential if they don't catch this double echo. Or if they don't respect the double echo, I should say.
I mean, the weird thing is, I feel like Echo Slam-wise, it's been great in terms of picking off Akashi and a couple of other heroes, but we haven't really seen that big team fight combo, wombo combo Echo Slam that, you know, you dream of as an Earthshaker. They're inching closer to this Roche, but it's a bit too late. Yokum will even preemptively dust just to make sure that he's covering any invis heroes coming through. Still want to fight outside the base though. Mikoto will just blink forward. Spots out 4-2-3. Oh, they're just playing around. They see this Terrorblade. He's gonna start chasing now. Slowly but surely, Hex up, Nullifier. There's Seimei jumping in, stopping absolutely nothing other than a couple of his own airlight illusions. Mikoto on the back line with the coil, holding them down. BKB still available. Bob will pop his, and so will Seimei. Looking for a Doom, looking for a target, but it's too late. Tsukimoto goes down, no buyback. Echo Slam onto 2, the backliners. There's the refresh. It's not going to be enough. The cores, they're still ripping your Terrorblade apart. The Thunder comes through, and Akashi loses his first life. It's not too bad. The Dark Willow's going to buy back, though. And Bosku able to survive in Song. This is a huge opportunity for Talon to just reset and control the cores. And sure enough, the Brambles under their feet. Bobby saved that BKB. And WS surviving through the Doom is able to come back through. But Bob, even with his BKB, he can't stand against Mikoto. This puck is just way too strong. And you'll lasso yourself on the bat. That's not what you wanted. Sure, you get the Timbersaw, but he's just going to buy back. This is Talon's time to win. Talon's time to strike. And with the Terrorblade without a Sunder, he has it available. But surely, oh, so many targets around him. Still gets it off on Akashi though. That's going to be a Brute Mother out of the picture. The second life already expended, but now surely 4-2-3 to go down as well. The Hex out.
He's got Sunder again.
Still has a second. Oh, but Lotus off. WS Soy coming from a mile away. 4-2-3, not today. And the Doom just gets cleaned up by Mikoto. I'm going to need a fight recap on that one because I feel like Mikoto was just about everywhere. But GG is called. No need to recap where we can just recap the whole game. It's Talon domination in the latter 20 minutes. Took them a while, but they got there. And bruv, there was some moments of brilliance, but it ended up in the way that I think all of us pretty much expected. Back on some of their comfort, this Akashi Luna is one that we've seen for quite a while now. And Yokum on I know you were talking up his Dark Willow, and I do believe he's a very, very good Dark Willow player. But I must say, the Yokum Tusk, ooh, that is something else. That is a thing of beauty, and I'm hoping to see some crazy plays come out from this game.
Oh, we'll see, Sneeze. I hope so. I hope we're gonna see some good Tusk plays. That is my big dream every time I see Tusk. Yeah, whether it be in my pubs or in pro games, I just want to see a Tusk pop off because nothing is better. Nothing is nicer. Kicks, punches, the whole galore. So satisfying to watch.
Early smoke move out. They've gone for a complete wraparound here on Talon. Inching onto the high ground where Bruv reside.
30 seconds.
But I believe just the recapturing of the Watcher has given Bruv that information on where Talon might be. So I just rotate down to the bot lane. No action to be found. You can understand why Talon got aggressive as well. They have that Tusk and even the disruption potentially from Cuckoo, so it definitely would have been in the advantageous position to secure an early kill. But yeah, no shenanigans, just heading back to lane. I would be surprised if Akashi tries to even contest for it instead of just walking straight back to the safest route. Is that 2 for 2? And off to the races we go. Game number 2 of Talon versus Bruv. Game number 1 was a bit messy, but like we mentioned, might just be the warm-up game, Copium, for all of these players. Maybe this is where Talon get a little bit sharper, or maybe this is where Bruv turn things on.
Could very well be. The game was still, fairly close last time around. It felt like Bruv had footings in the game at some point, but lost it pretty hard, which that's honestly the scariest part for me, is having a little bit of an early lead and losing it. Because I don't know, to me it shows almost a lack of discipline, maybe? Just a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think it's a very common pitfall, right? Even if you are really good in the lane, it doesn't necessarily mean you can always translate it. I mean, hell, that was the Shopify Rebellion problem / EG problem for like the longest time with RTZ, Fly, Crit. They would always dominate and completely crush their opponents in the first 5 to 8 minutes, and then suddenly in the mid game, it would all fall apart. Early pressure on to Seimei, just punched down by Yokum as well as Akashi. A bit of a switch of lanes, the Tusk going to the bot lane instead, but it's working out perfectly for them.
Yeah, I mean, Tusk Luna is if not one of the best combos in the game right now. I mean, maybe you can make an argument Tusk Visage, but Luna, I feel like, just hits like a truck from the get-go. Right, you're hitting hard, you've got a nuke as well. The Tusk Visage is nice, but it really comes online at level 6. You know, Luna, it's online all the time.
WS the one to take quite a bit of damage on the top lane, but able to walk it off. And cross his fingers that the reactive armor stack slowly get him back up to speed. Just has to deal with that very annoying Ironwood Treant beating into him. It doesn't really feel like a lane that the Bruv combination can, you know, I mean, apart from say, he's surprised us so far. But again, Timbersaw, once he gets to that level 4 and level 5, should be in a much more comfortable spot to perhaps even solo the lane and free up Bosku to start moving on the map.
Alright, quick little pause, but we're back in it, and what are we thinking this laning stage, right? Makoto is pretty much dominating this mid lane like we expected from the Kunkka. Bob is left drowning just a little bit, 7-3 to Makoto's 13, now 14-8. Makoto pretty much denied the entire first wave from Bob, and he's gonna miss the flag bearer as well. What a torrent, might I say.
Yeah, clean start from Makoto. Kind of expected. This is one of his signature heroes after all. And he, of all people, is one of... You know, we saw an amazing Puck, so it's easy to just say that. But Puck and Kunkka are his sort of go-tos, right? So it's not surprising that he knows how to beat it, and it's not surprising that he knows how to pilot the Kunkka independent of just being a Puck counter as well. X-Marks. Time for the bait. I mean, that's always going to be very difficult to pull off, especially with level 1s only and the X-Marks in the Torrent. A bit too telegraphed there, but the important part is that Bob is just absolutely being pressured out right now.
I mean, you can still get kills on the Puck with the Kunkka. It requires multiple pump fakes and a little bit of mind games, but you can certainly do it.
Oh, you could also, you know, like, die on the Kunkka, but he... Oh my goodness.
You could also just die on the Puck as well, believe it or not.
Yeah, that's, I mean, that looked really, really close, but that's the classic sort of Kunkka, I'm a lot tankier than you think I am moment. That was, unfortunate to say the least, and the Admiral's Rum wasn't even popped or anything, so Bob just, honestly, no other way to say it other than just being flat out outskilled in the lane. WS able to Timber Chain out of trouble. Say was very close to getting the kill, but now will be the one going down instead. Stack up those poison charges. Last pop, it's not going to be enough. Level 1 Shadow Poison only, and the body blocks coming out from 4-2-3. They're not devious enough. The Shadow Demon will be able to walk back out to safety.
All these side lanes are pretty damn close. Talon are utilizing the strengths of their heroes, the knowledge of their heroes in a big way, right? Like, they are playing very confidently despite being this low HP. Right? They know their lengths, they know their strengths, they know the Timbersaw can just Timber Chain away, keep a safe distance, get some XP, get a salve going. And just, you know, hang out. It's not worth walking back to lane when you could be getting some juicy XP. Especially when Seimei is so far behind as well. If Timbersaw can stay a level ahead of this Doom, it'd be very, very nice. Maybe even 2 levels, you know, if you really push it.
Yeah, quick look at the CS at the moment. The Kunkka being so firmly ahead is no surprise. Puck struggling as a result. But the Timber really suffering. I mean, this is the second game in a row that WS hasn't really had the best start. It's really thanks to Sei on this Bat Rider, who's putting on a lot more pressure than I think we're giving him credit for in this game at least. I know last game we were already gassing him up, but he's doing very well for himself. Into the bot lane, Makoto. Starting out onto Seimei here. Not enough damage, and they didn't chain the Torrent nicely enough, but the shards blocking his way. They don't have any additional mana on Akashi, so one last little... Ooh, just a bit out of range.
I like the respect for your Luna as well, right? Not cleaving that wave after you miss the kill possibility. instead just let Luna farm up that wave, right? Discipline on Mikoto, save your friends and farm.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Now, if
attack.
he can get this kill on Mikoto, that's going to be huge. One last auto attack. The tower armor is not going to be enough. And Bob, on the back of that haste rune, found Mikoto lacking a little bit. That is a huge recovery kill for him.
It's a beautiful first coil as well, right? That is everything that Puck wanted. It's not just recovery farm, but it's a use of your abilities. It's a little bit of solace knowing that, you know, you were successful once and you can be successful again with your coil. It doesn't feel like you've wasted your ability for absolutely nothing. Wisdom runes. Phoenix had to TP back. Bob is joining as well. Yoakum still gets it.
Sneaky little Yoakum. You bring 3 members. I mean, that's I feel like 7-minute wisdom runes.
There we go.
Okay. And they really wanted to give it to Bob, understandable, but the fact that they lose out on that EXP means that, say, despite this early game masterclass that he's put on the Bat Rider, him and the Tsukimoto Phoenix are gonna be struggling a little bit.
And these are supports that rely on their level 6 to do things. Right? Big things can be done with these level 6s on supports. But delaying that for these 2 heroes specifically, pretty devastating, right? There are a few supports that need their level 6, but not many that need it this badly. Right? Phoenix without level 6 feels so bad. Fire spirits are great, they're fine. You know, you could say the same thing about the dive. It's a nice disengage tool, but man, oh man, if you're not 6 come like 12 minutes, you know, we asked the question, who does your team play around? Who are your supports able to play? How are your supports able to play the game in general without their 6?
Yeah, true. I'd say so. I mean, Bob, again, we're looking at him to be the one setting blazing the trail for his allies. Looks like they are catching on to this poor Bat Rider. Hello? Timber Chain away back to safety. Bob is here with a nice Dream Curl though. Twisted Chakram and Chakram, more than enough damage. 423 has joined the fray as well. Nice snowball. And they have the boat coming in to help with the rum. Looks like 423 might be in trouble, but still surviving on a sliver. Jokum trying to finish the job with the shards, but with the Sunray should be enough. Just needs to strike in with one little tight bringer. There we go. Mikoto finds the angle. 2 kills for each of the mid laners. Mikoto fishing. Oh, last little bit of HP, Tsukimoto. Hiding away in the trees. There's no way he gets out of this one, surely. Smarts. Oh, Mikoto's going for the star points. There we go. There we go.
Slow one, but he gets the job done nonetheless. Hey, Sneeze. Where was Doom? What was he doing? Oh, nothing? Oh, crazy. Who could have expected that?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he had Doom up. I guess he just didn't have a TP, or maybe he got caught out. Because I didn't really catch whether he was... He doesn't have one in his inventory, which...
It's on cooldown. It's on cooldown.
Trying to TP, right? So I think he tried and then probably got interrupted by Akashi. So not necessarily his fault, but still ends up being a much better trade for Talon than the latter Bruv team. Because... You know, Bob got a little bit done. He didn't die at the very least, but Mikoto is just cleaning up shop. Top of the net worth, 5.5k at the 10-minute mark, and continuing to be able to secure these runes. Arcane now for him. So he's done with his play, man. Setting out to Bob and just really starting to pressure out this mid lane tower, forcing a response from Bruv.
That blade mail's gonna be very nice this game as well, right? Puck, a lot of damage you just kind of throw out there. Mikoto's able to just blade mail it back to you. It could result in a kill, right? You know, Puck is one of those heroes that likes to play on the knife's edge, and all of a sudden a coil break and a stray orb that you throw could end with your death.
Doing quite a bit of damage to this bot tier 1 tower.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Get it done. Yeah, but the Midas complete. That's is that a good timing? 11 minutes. It feels like it's a bit slower than you would want, eh?
For a Doom, it's fairly slow, but maybe we're just a little crazy, Sneeze, because he is as high in net worth as anyone on Dire right now, right? He is the highest, so maybe the Midas timing is okay. He does have face boots, bracers, as well as a windlace, so, you know, we do have items for Seimei before that Midas. But once again, wasn't doing things with it. Now with the gank up top, looking to use his first Doom, but it might just be a Shadow Demon that he finds, and we already talked about it. You really don't want to Doom this guy.
And
So
they
they
don't
won't.
have to. You're just gonna get
No.
the kill. And I mean, this is... It feels like Seimei's first entry into the game, being part of and sort of organized maneuver to try and pressure his opponents.
Radiant's
Kind
top
of
tower
expect
is
that
under
Blink
attack.
Dagger to come
Radiant's
shortly
top
after
tower
for him
has
to
fallen.
capitalize on these Blink Doom. Surprise, maybe finally get a kill on Mikoto, who's been dominating this mid lane and making it his home.
And how do you force Conka with boat out of the lane? I'm willing to listen to examples, but I can't really think of any. An Echo Slam
Yeah, I feel
with
like,
5 other heroes?
Oh, Doom in the bot lane onto Akashi. They TP in onto 423 as well, but a nice snowball. Buying some time, it's not going to be enough. The Luna will still go down, but not before the Doom falls first. Very nicely done. Bolt comes in to give Yokum the buff. He is very tanky as a result, but not going to be able to survive. Tidebringer trying to ward off the aggressors on Bruv, but Mikoto understands that without allies, he can't really do much else here. Just going to clean up the creep wave and hold his ground, but like we mentioned from the draft, with the Nature's Prophet always able to join the fight, and so far Bruv, they've been doing a good job in terms of bringing all their heroes for any sort of engagement. The Doom ends up with the Luna dead.
Man, you know what we haven't seen this series? And I don't think we saw it last series either, unless I'm losing my mind. A Gleipnir. We've seen 0 Gleipnirs,
Yeah.
and finally we're probably going to be seeing one on this Nature's Prophet. Unless for some reason he goes Mjolnir, which I wouldn't, I mean, hate, but it's got to be
I would
Gleip,
hate it.
right? A
I would
Gleip
hate it. Like,
is
what are you-
the
what are you
item
doing?
of
No
the
one's-
patch.
Yeah, like what are you talking about? No one
Whoa,
builds.
whoa, whoa. Into, like, Luna, it's not the worst. Right, like, Luna's the hero that's going to be standing there and hitting you. You can kind of trade effectively with Mjolnir. Look, I am coping, but it's not as bad as you're making it seem.
Is under attack.
This is not the argument you need to win right now, Crash. We
I'm dying
move
on
on
this
from
hill,
this.
Sneeze. I will.
Yeah, you're dying on the Maelstrom Hill in 2024. That's like Maelstrom Mjolnir Hill on 2024. That's crazy.
Hey, Sniper
Okay.
still does it sometimes.
Yeah, and sure.
Diamonds are scanning.
Let's take a quick look at the item progress here. Mask of Madness for Luna. She managed to grab that, and the Yasha in the backpack as well. WS queuing up that pipe. Everything is expected. Bob has finished the Witchblade. And nothing really else of significance to mention. The spots are still trailing behind, trying to get their way
Dire's
towards their
middle
first
tower is
items.
under attack.
Yeah, but WS is making good progress, right? The Ring of Taras already is in his inventory. Can imagine that Talon. That's going to be a timing for them to take.
Yo, Bruv looking like they have a Medusa on their team with all these arcane rings. Holy moly.
Yeah, mana maxing.
I mean, no mana
the
boots. They have no mana boots on the side of Bruv, so you need to supplement that somehow.
Ah, that's fair.
Still
The illusion
funny.
of free choice. You get like so many options with your neutral items, but really only 3 or 4 are good.
Yeah. Especially tier 1s.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Oh, they spot the part with the high ground vision. Can Bob get out of here? Absolutely not. Surrounded by 4. And that is a mega kill streak for WS. You talk about, I don't know, I was just mentioning the pipe coming faster. I mean, that is a huge injection of gold, man.
Oh, big time.
They know they know the Doom is here. Just pinging out. They seem to know.
Guess is the wrong way.
Okay. Yeah.
Yo, hold on a minute, Sneeze. Drinking Buddies Conka. Are we back to fishing crits Conka? Are we back?
Radiant are scanning.
I mean, I don't know about that. We'll have to see what Mikoto's building up, because for now it seems like he's still going for that stock standard
Yeah.
Aghanim build.
Yeah.
Which is
Bog-
just
bog
gonna
standard.
allow him to be the master of the team fight.
I mean, no Torrent Storm, but still the Aghanim Scepter is really, really strong.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Only one item away. Man, he's so close to that upgraded ghost ship. Pipe coming online, Ags coming online at around the same timing. If you can get a Luna BKB shortly after, you will be in a very good position on Talon to take your first Roche and start running around.
So is that what you think they're waiting for here? Because Akashi is still looking at that Manta style. Speaking of Akashi, Say's the one looking at him, drags him up. Okay, drags him up to that high ground. Uh-oh. Well, nice little snowball down. It's just a... You know what? I was so worried because I thought there was more people there with how he's trying to aggress onto Akashi, but really just trying to be annoying. I think the big victim of that fight is actually Mikoto's courier, just carrying the two remaining components of his Aghanim Scepter, so that's going to be delayed for 2 minutes. That's a real tragedy.
I mean, you've still got time, right? Like, Luna BKB is still a ways away. You can still join fights if you really feel the need to on the Luna, as long as you have Eclipse up. Right, if Eclipse is down, there's no chance. BKB already picked up by Seimei now. Blink BKB, which I like, right? No auras, but you can still get the job done, right? Blink Doom will be really big. Got the Devil's Bargain, so he did sell his Midas. Perfect. Right? You want to sell that Midas to get you towards your second, third item. You get it, you're good, and now you're fighting with your team. Wonderful.
Yeah, it's an interesting talent for sure. One that definitely suits the hero's design. But I'm sure now a lot of Doom players are just kind of blamed a lot more because if you're greedy and you hang on to that Midas, they're like, just sell it, man. It's not like you're losing any gold. But what they are losing right now is priority on the Roshan Talon. Once again, a very early entry into the pit. But bruv, they are ready for it. How the Walrus Punch thing? Looks like they found Tsukimoto just approaching from an angle all by his lonesome. Say, getting spotted out in the middle of the lane as well. They have a nice lane ward. But now just being chased away. WS not worried at all about what he sees in front of him. Yeah, I think, in fact, the only thing he's too worried about is potentially eating another Doom, because that's the only thing that can kill him, it feels like.
You still gotta respect the Doom, the coil, but, I mean, kill the Doom, and all of a sudden it's not a problem.
Yes, the BKB though turns around dooming WS, like we mentioned, Gleipnir, but there's the disruption from Cuckoo, keeping that poor Timbersaw safe. Yoga manages to get the snowball off, and he pulls the Timbersaw in as well, rolls straight onto 423. That is a very easy pickup. Now Bosku, he's still in range of the egg popping, might just get stunned up, but where's the follow-up damage? This Shadow Demon seemed to be fine for now. The drinking buddies couldn't save him. Yokum is very low, and so is the rest of Talon. They might just have to retreat now, even though the fight was looking pretty decent for them. Oh, Bob trying to jump in, almost getting caught out. The disables, they're there, and the puck is gonna go down. WS isn't done by any stretch of the imagination. Tristan Chakram, cool guys don't look out at birds when they chop them up. And that's exactly what WS does. Double kill for Akashi. Talon, they are large and in charge here. Looking for one more, but no. They'll just settle for heading back into that Roche and grabbing that Aegis for real.
And that's with all of the ultimates being used on Bruv as well. And they only get the supports. You're going to be waiting to take that next fight now. You're probably waiting for your next item, but at that point, Talon, right, they're already ahead of you on all of their cores. They're going to have their next item as well. So you're put into an awkward position on Bruv where you have to fight, but you're not comfortable fighting a 5-on-5. You have to take pickoffs, and that's more up to Talon to present themselves alone than it is for you able to capitalize on that, because with Aegis, Talon should just push us 5, right? I don't think anyone should be straggling too far away. Right now, you've got Shadow Demon pushing out bottom to push that lane out, right? Kunkat's going to be doing the same thing to the mid lane, but as soon as these waves get pushed out in a good position, they're going to group up and start cleaning up these tier 2 towers.
Yeah, and when they do group up, you know what my problem is with the Bruv draft? You know, you needed to sort of catch some sort of tempo to make sure that when you're all TPing in, it's going to be fine. Now, they do get a kill onto Boss Group, but my point being, it's nice and all when they can collapse like this and they're strong enough to kill off your heroes. But we saw in that previous engagement that they just didn't have the damage to 100-0 anyone when Talon were all standing together. And on the Bruv side, who is really the frontliner? Seimei doesn't want to be the one there tanking the damage because he's gonna melt in an instant, right? And he's nowhere near the territory where he can actually be that unkillable Doom on the front lines. There's still a lot of damage on Talon that can threaten him. But who else can do it? And that's the exact problem that allowed them to just turn around and focus down 4-2-3. And I mean, they need to try and figure something out about how they're gonna approach these fights or how to address the 5v5 because it's coming. Oh no.
They almost lost Tsukimoto as well. I think he might feed to a tower. Oh no, that's his tower. Just kidding. He's gonna feed to a tower as he walks under his own tier 3. Yes, very cool. Alright, here goes Akashi. Starting to take down these tier 2 towers. It's time. What are you doing down here? Okay, Makoto was coming. Makoto has decided to not engage in this shenanigans.
I mean, there's no point, right? Even as the Kanka and even in your very dominant position, you don't really have any way of stopping the puck. I think in the past we used to see some Kankas opt for the early Orchid just to deal with pucks or more elusive heroes, but it's something that's really fallen out of favor in you know, in comparison to some of your auras or maybe even first item aghanim, stuff like that. AD rune picked up now by Akashi. Looks like they should be ready to go. Bob is being very annoying cutting the creep wave though, but they should be able to at least get this tier 1 tower without any issues.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
I think people have found out that Orchid is mostly an annoyance and not a game-winning item. Right, you got an Orchid and then all of a sudden the enemy either builds Manta or, you know, Yules, whatever. And if you are shown building an Orchid, they're going to be building that item even sooner. Right, you're going first item Orchid against a Puck. Realistically, Puck will get Witchblade first, but what's stopping Puck from just going Yule Scepter if they really think your Orchid's going to be a problem?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, that's not a...
Radiant are scanning.
And Mikoto's queuing up his BKB now, so very close towards that. That's really going to make him a removable object in fight. And now Talon smoking up. It'd be so huge if they could somehow find Bob and just kill them off, because that would just open up the tier 3s for them, I would assume.
Well, they might not even need the tier 3s to be open when they could just run at them right now.
True. Solar Crest done. Mask of Madness pop. Starting to lay into that tier 3 in the top lane. Now they'll even create some illusions just to help the effort. It forces the glyph out, actually.
Sugimoto's got to be careful. We could die from full here. Glimmer Cape? Ooh. WS guess is wrong.
Yeah, it's a good thing Tsukimoto sidestepped a little bit. If not, the Chakras would have just ripped him apart. Looks like the creep wave somehow got caught. 4-2-3, keeping up to the backline, forced to pop the BKB, but they're running into an Eclipse now. Tsukimoto has to pop the egg, but the Luna's right there. Can he finish it off in time? The kids, they're enough. No, the lasso! At the very last minute, they grab Akashi away and they will get the first life of the Luna. Meanwhile, doomed up on the Kanka. That is a great grab, but still, Seimei has to sacrifice his life for it. Is it enough to win this fight? The Torrent and the boat crashing into the Nature's Prophet without his BKB, and Key's gonna go down. The BKB pop by Mikoto. Sure, the Puck's trying to be as annoying as possible, but everyone else is dying to the residual damage. There's the control onto Bob. A last few bits of that Chakram. He's not able to blink out, but oh, the Lucent Beam strikes him down with that Phylactery. And it ends up being a full team wipe. The only thing they get is the Akashi Aegis. And this should be the end of game 2. I mean, I might be calling it a bit preemptively because sure, there's still Rags and the tier 2 up, but I genuinely don't see, unless it's some sort of organized wrapping effort for the next 30 minutes, how the side of Bruv are going to come back from this Talon. They are just so far ahead right now.
This is more along the lines of the domination that we expected from Talon. This is exactly it.
Absolutely.
Right. Every single team fight, it felt like they've won. They've owned almost every single team fight. Akashi, that was the worst showing from him we've seen all game, all series, and that wasn't awful either, right? He just got lassoed so he couldn't finish off the egg. That's not his fault. That's Stay playing well, right? So, incredibly good showing from all of Talon this game. One last stand for Bruv.
Oh, they don't even lasso a hero. They get an illusion instead. That's got a sting. It's Bat Rider buying back here, but Akashi even force staffing forward to face down the Nature's Prophet. 4-2-3 is down. And that's GG. Say's gonna call it. Stop the carnage. 2-0 for Talon. Like you mentioned, Crash, exactly what the viewers and the fans expected from this roster. A bit of a shaky warm-up game at Talon. Looking ready to prowl, looking ready to dominate. That's got a sting. It's Bat Rider buying back here, but Akashi even force staffing forward to face down the Nature's Prophet. 4-2-3 is down. And that's GG. Say's gonna call it. Stop the carnage. 2-0 for Talon. Like you mentioned, Crash, exactly what the viewers and the fans expected from this roster. A bit of a shaky warm-up game at Talon. Looking ready to prowl, looking ready to dominate. And if they can keep this up, if Mikoto keeps playing like this, he's really gonna sort of very quickly reclaim